Good morning, Genesis. Everybody is already standing, so while we're doing that, move into place and let's sing our opening song together.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
Very good. Ah, good rainy morning. I have to point it out um, because I know what's happening is that the projection is sunshine for the week. And just in case you didn't know, it's supposed to be like 80 degrees on Mother's Day. I have to give a shout out to the weather for a minute, and then may it go back down. Just a little bit. 70s is my happy place. 70s and sunshine, may it be so. My name is Karen Williams, and I'm a practitioner here at Genesis Center for Spiritual Living, and I'm going to be leading us through the flow of the service. Genesis is a community that's dedicated to love, inspiring harmony, and creating connections to empower spiritual growth. And we love that you are here with us to share in that. Our online host today is Eric. So if you are watching for the first time on social media, please let Eric know that you're here and how you found us and how you're finding the flow. And for the regulars, please also say hi to Eric and engage with us. We're happy to know that you're here as well. We read together every week our mission and vision statements, so if you'll direct your attention to the screen and read with me, please. Our mission: we are building a vibrant community, cultivating a garden of spiritual growth, honoring vulnerability, creating a safe place of comfort and peace where all are welcome and accepted. Our vision: Genesis is a bright beacon with an unshakable heart of love, accepting all. It's a home for the soul where we each creatively express our spiritual brilliance. I love that. What a great vision. All right, let me do the announcements. It's not overwhelming today. Vicki Pate is hosting the Growing Genesis. She's calling it a class, it's a gathering on Thursdays at 7 p.m. It's free, it's short, and there's no homework. So kind of takes it away from me from being a class. It's a gathering. Everybody is welcome on any Thursday. Just drop in. It's a opportunity to come with your ideas about how we can grow, how we can attract more people to spread the love. The Zoom link will be posted in the usual places. Saturday, June 1st from 6:30 to 10 is another Genesis Games Night. Christy Ness, Dave, and Rev Rose are hosting a game night at Dave's place, and you'll get more information on that at the usual places. It's a chance for us, our community, to get together and just have fun, right? But if you have, go ahead and bring some food if you would like. There will be refreshments provided and some light snacks, but please feel free to bring something if you have something that you'd like to share. You can sign up with Dave, and then once you've signed up, then he will send you his address. Do we have a sign up over here, a list of any sort? We'll try and make sure there's a way, to create one and make sure that y'all commit to that and he knows that you're coming. So he can plan for you and have a chair. Christy Randolph is hosting a mindful eating group on Monday nights, and this is via Zoom from 8:30 to 9. Also a nice short meeting where they support each other on staying on their eating path. They share successes and challenges and eating hacks and share favorite recipes. They are going to be off for a couple of Mondays, so for a holiday. So y'all feel free, take a holiday. They're going to be back on the 19th of May, Monday the 19th. You can connect with Christy here at the service today, or you can email her at randolph.christykcase@gmail.com. It is there. Good. Our book study is this thing called You right now after service. We do that after fellowship. So fellowship is after service till about noon, and then we do our book study from noon to 1 if there's no other events that are happening in the room. And so that is also kind of a drop-in group as well. You don't have to be there for every single page of the book. You can just drop in at any time. There's juicy goodness, there's love, and there's beauty in every page of that book. So whenever you show up, it's going to be the right and perfect time. And 12 to 1. Great. That was easy today. Any first-time guests, Eric? Okay, so family, so glad that you're here today. This is our opportunity to do our meet and group in-house. For those of you who are visiting us from social media, we do take an opportunity here to stand up and say hi to each other, give a hug, a handshake, whatever it is, just to say hi. So we're going to do that right now. Thanks. Everybody's back in their seats after being loved up. So I'd like to take this time to thank everyone that is in service today. I'm going to start with our setup and cleanup crew, because that's where it all begins. So that would be Mike and Eric, because they've got a lot to do, and Cal, because he's got a lot to do, and Cynthia, because she's got a lot to do. Girl, you set up that whole table. Don't try and act like you don't do anything here on a Sunday. Right? Gideon, of course, we are a community of service. I'll continue. Our morning greeter today is Christy. On projector and video is Mike and Eric, I think, respectively. Gideon is doing our offering collection. Cal is our sound tech. Eric is our online host. And I am going to be the service practitioner today. There will be nonstop Karen, except for when our message is here. It's your lucky day. Somebody's lucky day, I don't know. I do also want to point out our guest musician today is the lovely Becca Palm.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, we're very grateful for the volunteers who show up every Sunday, and we could not pull all of this together without those volunteers. We currently have openings if you want to let loose some of that service spirit. We have openings for the setting up of the coffee and the refreshments, and then, of course, tearing down, which I think we just all kind of do, which is because we're a community of service, and we take care of each other. You can see our volunteer coordinator for more information. Do we have a volunteer coordinator? It says, see your volunteer coordinator. It's official. All right. So listen, if one of your ways of serving this community if you'd be interested in being the service coordinator, that's available too. All right. Thank you, Gideon. All right. So about practitioners, so what we do on a Sunday is we begin with Becca, our musician, will begin with that centering song that will take us into the center, and then we have a gong. Then we do a spiritual reading, and then a prayer. And then some more music before we go into our message. The practitioner, though, also at the end of service, after service, if you are feeling like you would like to have some level of support or prayer, it's not even necessarily have to be support, it's a celebration also. We love to pray. Let me tell you, we love to pray. I love to pray. So, hit me up after service. I will pray with you, and it would bring me joy to do so. So there you go. That's the invitation. So we're going to do our centering song at this time.
I breathe and turn within. I breathe and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's presence. I breathe and turn within. up my heart and feel God's love. I open up my heart and feel God's love. I open up my heart and feel God's love.
My reading today is from Science of Mind 365, Ernest Holmes. I'm going to start with the gong as a spiritual practice. So breathing, I'll hit the gong 3 times and a breath with each. Just riding on that vibration. The Spirit of God hath made me, and the breath of the Almighty hath given me life. This is Job 33:4. And Ernest. My body is the temple of the living God. It is spiritual substance. Every part of my body is attuned to this living spirit within me. I have perfect confidence in my heart that God's life-giving spirit is my life. Since God is my life and God is eternal, my life is eternal. Therefore, I cannot be separated from God, from good, or from perfection. The perfect life of God now is expressed through me, and every part of my body expresses its innate perfection and wholeness. As the sun dissolves mist, so does my knowledge of truth dissolve all pain and discord. I know the truth about myself as a child of God, and that truth makes me free. I am free because the power of the living spirit is my power, and it remolds and recreates my body after the likeness of the perfect plan of God. I accept then my own spiritual and physical perfection. I accept my privilege and its expression of manifesting the life, love, peace, strength, harmony, and joy of God, the Almighty Presence, who dwells within me and incarnates in me as me. I feel like I can say, and so it is after that, but I have a little bit more to pray about. And so I begin with this beautiful foundation set by Ernest Holmes' words. I begin with that power and that presence. I begin with that perfection, with that wholeness, with that beauty, with that life that it lives and expresses as myself and as every individual on the planet. I know that all beings everywhere are an incarnation of that divine presence, that divine substance. I celebrate the eternality and the immortality of the soul, all souls everywhere. I celebrate the experience of each individual on the planet, knowing that right action is indeed always taking place. I celebrate the community of Genesis Center for Spiritual Living, knowing that each presence here is a vibration of wholeness and love. And we gather together as a way to reaffirm, to mirror, to heal. And I'm grateful for these things. I'm grateful for this community. I'm grateful for the way it shows up. And I'm grateful for knowing that what in fact it does is it sends out this wholeness and this love out beyond the walls that we occupy in this moment in time. And what we are is timeless. Every choice that we make is timeless. And so recognizing that that is so, there's power in my word as I speak it in this moment, and in this moment, and in this moment. Every moment is alive with the possibility of the perfection of life. And so I give thanks right now for Reverend James, who has given himself over to this community, offering himself and his unique gifts and talents as a way to be that mirror, that teacher, that sage, that we might remember who we are. Knowing that this is good and very good, I know that the rest of this service is a continuation of this very prayer, and I'd let it be so, and so it is.
So it is.
Mm-hmm. And so, Becca Palm, welcome.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. There's quite enough peace, quite enough power to walk through our every fear. For Spirit, one Spirit is in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. There's quite enough peace, quite enough power to walk through our every fear. For Spirit, one Spirit is in this very room. It's in this very room.
Thank you, Becca. And we really do feel the Spirit in this very room, and in the very room where you are, right wherever you are when you see this. Spirit is with you in this very room. So this is the first Sunday of May. Oh, there it is. Oh, it says April, but it's really May. This is all right. And we will hold off on the affirmation for a little bit. I want to review the rest of the year that we've been coming up. So this is the year of a grand rising. And grand is more, we move from good to great to grand. And grand sort of opens us up to our universal power to ourselves, to our very nature, is grand. We can step out of the smallness that we sometimes feel trapped in or feel like we're hiding in, into a grand rising. We started off the year with a burning, Now, there we are. We started off this year with a grand rising, with a burning bowl. So we burned off everything in 2023 that we wanted to leave behind so that we could move forward into 2024, unencumbered by anything we no longer needed, moving forth with our essential nature. We did a white stone ceremony, and white stones, as you recall, is what was given to slaves when they received their freedom. It was also given to graduates of universities, like back thousands of years ago, when they graduated, and they would put a new name. You know, this would be their new identity now that they were a free person or a graduate. And so this is what we did. We all picked our name for 2024, our word that would signify and bring us through 2024. And we wrote a letter to God, the letter to God where we write back from the end of 2024, expressing gratitude for all the wonderful things that have happened in 2024. We also talked about, we had a visioning workshop too, that was led by Cynthia and Reverend Rose, where a bunch of us came up with our pictures of what 2024 would look like. And we talked about Martin Luther King Jr., who describes faith as being the willingness to take the next step on the staircase when you don't know where the staircase ends. And this is where we are, our spiritual journey, our spiritual quest. We don't know where it will end, but we are open and curious to find out, and we have faith that it will be a good place. In February, we moved into uncomfortability. And we came out with it, the I Can Do Hard Things, which is about the exercising the anterior cingulate cortex, which is the part of our brain that the more we do hard things, the better we become at hard things. So one of the things we teach our grandchildren is, I like doing hard things. I can do hard things. I'm good at doing hard things. And this is going to exercise this. It increases that part of his brain as well. In February, we started the Chinese New Year, the year of the wood dragon. So wood is all about growing, creativity in the environment. And the dragon energy is brash, it's forward, it's powerful, and it's foresighted. The dragons get the upper level view of the world. And so that's what this year is about. This year is about in-your-face goodness, a high-level view of the world and the environment, at least according to Chinese astrology. And us. We talked about Tina Turner, who turned her life around with her Buddhist chanting, Harry Belafonte, who has been the exemplar of nonviolence for almost a century, Harriet Tubman, who was the Moses of her people, who freed her people from enslavement. She freed over 1,000 people personally. And Chadwick Boseman, who inspired a generation with his depiction of T'Challa, the Black Panther, king of an enlightened technological country that's in touch with technology and in touch with nature and in touch with heart. In March, we came up with a new baby day. We released the past, moved into divine intelligence. This is part I liked. It's Ramadan. So it's Ramadan, so I got to do, every day in Ramadan, like Muslims get to do 5 times a day, open our hearts to Abraham. As Moses did, we free ourselves from anything we no longer need. As Jesus did, we prostrate ourselves to recognize that we are that which we seek. And we also bless the teachings that bring this knowledge and awareness to us so that we can follow a true path. We also did, in Palm Sunday, we found out that Jesus is a comedian. That his Palm Sunday gathering, at the same time, the Roman the new Roman governor came on a stallion with Roman legions, ready to show the might and power of the Roman Empire. And you'd better obey us because we've got the power. And Jesus came in on a donkey with people waving palm leaves instead of swords, saying, the power is within us. We don't need to be afraid of that military might. We need to bring in gentleness into the world. So this was radical protest art. And in April, we talked about giant gentleness, and we entered with fish doorbells. We talked about Passover, and we ended up with giant cosmicness, where we fixed two Voyagers from 15 billion miles away. We found that this is within our capabilities to communicate with something 15 billion miles away and keep them going. So today, May's theme is good to great to grand. And today we're going to talk about our inner landscape. And the path to our most authentic expression starts with the exploration of our inner landscape. Through observation, curiosity, and self-discovery, we discover the grandness that's been there all along. So observing our inner landscape, let's say this together 3 times. I am open and curious as I explore my own inner landscape. I am open and curious as I explore my own inner landscape. One last time. I am open and curious as I explore my own inner landscape. And so we're going to talk about openness, curiosity, and self-discovery in our inner landscape. The first story about observing is, it happened at this, Claire Krause was at the South Fork restaurant in North Bend, just in an ordinary day at work, and she looked out the window and she said, "What's going on? Is this Harry Potter? It looks like somebody has conjured a Patronus in the parking lot." But other people were looking around. She's like, "Am I dreaming?" And she's like, it was like magic world because there were 4 zebras in the parking lot of the South Fork Cafe in North Bend. And she's like, "What's going on?" And they went out, and all the people in the restaurant went out. And they looked at it, and they felt like a little bit of magic had entered their lives that day. And she didn't have to observe that. The people in the restaurant could have gone on eating. They had things to do. They had work to do. The people could have kept cooking the food. But they observed. They observed what was going on with their fellow people in the restaurant, and they went and they got to see the 4 zebras. A couple days later, Daniel Thinson, another North Bend resident, was hiking, and he thought something was odd. What's going on? And he looked behind him, and there was a zebra running full blast up at him, and he's like, "Oh no!" Because zebras, they look all graceful and black and white, but he said, this zebra, it looked like a donkey that had been working out. It had all these muscles. And I ran as fast as I could, but it was still catching up with me quick. But luckily, I found a side trail and ducked in it before it overran me. And it ran past. And then a minute later, somebody showed up on a mountain bike and said, "Have you seen a zebra?" He said, "That away." And the guy went and chased it. And what happened is Christine Keltgen is a 35-year-old who runs a petting zoo in Opportunity, Montana. Opportunity is a suburb of Anaconda, Montana, which is it's in western Montana. It's the part of Montana that was supposed to be part of Idaho, and they said, "No way! Not Idaho for us. We want to be Montana." And so that's where it is. It's famous for copper mining. But now it's going to be famous for zebras. she bought these zebras for her petting zoo and drove them up, and she noticed that the mat was loose at the bottom of the horse trailer she had the zebras in. And she thought, okay, I'll just open the door and readjust the mat so it doesn't fall out. But when she opened the doors, the zebras, these 4 donkeys that had been working out, rushed her. And she couldn't get even one of them. And they all just ran away, galloped away. And she was like, oh no. And luckily, a woman noticed 3 of the zebras were in her backyard, and she called 911, and people came and got those. And then Christine went and took those 3 to Opportunity, Montana, where they will have an opportunity to be in a petting zoo. But the 4th one, who was called Z, was on the loose. And we were deluged. I assume all of you have seen the memes of Z on the ferry and Z at the Space Needle, Z on Mount Rainier, Z at Snoqualmie Falls. So eventually they found Z, and it turned out Z was not a boy zebra. Z was really called Shug, a girl zebra, and she is also in Opportunity, Montana now. It turned out it was sort of good that there was all this kerfuffle besides all the fun we got to have and the magical experience the people at the South Fork restaurant had, because Christine hadn't really thought about how cold it gets in the Montana winter. And now, since the whole world knows that she has these 4 zebras in her petting zoo, she's making sure they have a heated space for them, a heated barn for them to stay safe in the winter. And I bet she will get lots of visitors in her petting zoo. I know next time I am driving past Anaconda, I'm going to go and meet these magical zebras. But these zebras, came because people took the opportunity to observe, and the world became a little magical. Well, at least people in North Bend were all looking for zebras, and I was actually looking for Facebook memes about zebras. So as we uncover our inner truth, our inner core, our inner selves, what helps us, what motivates us to do this is curiosity. And curiosity has been very powerful in my life. Curiosity is a catalyst for growth and expansion. It gently nudges, it entices us beyond the boundaries of our comfort zone. Sometimes people try to push us outside our comfort zone, but, the tendency is to resist when people are pushing us. But when curiosity is tempting us, oh, what's it like there? I mean, Christine thought, what would it be like to have 4 zebras in my petting zoo? Hey, I can get cut-rate zebras. Here's a horse trailer. I know how to use those. And her whole life is different now. So curiosity encourages us to question, explore, and find meaning. It invites us to embark on a voyage of self-discovery, delving into the depths of ourselves and exploring the layer of our systems of thoughts and beliefs. By nurturing our curiosity, we remain receptive to the experience of life, allowing us to evolve, transform, and expand our awareness through our willingness to stay curious. Even when it may be challenging, we unlock the door to wisdom, insights, and profound spiritual truths. And this is when I talk about shadow work, not because I can feel a little bit of cringe when I talk about shadow work, but shadows is really the part of ourselves that we don't necessarily, that isn't in the open. It can be the golden shadows, a very important part of ourselves, and this is like our unknown superpower. We don't have to be bitten by a radioactive spider to have a superpower. We can look within ourselves to fulfill our curiosity. I have to tell you, we discovered our 6-year-old at his birthday party where we had 54 people show up. We discovered that he is a stand-up comedian. He did these comedy routines that had his entire
kindergarten class on the floor, rolling on the floor laughing. And these are things that if it's just him and two old people, you look at that, you go, why is he acting so odd? You can see it's his audience. He needed the audience. You have to think about it with the mind of a kindergartner, and you see he's hysterical. So we had lots of comedy yesterday. But curiosity, so it helped that I was curious enough to stay in the room, with that overwhelming noise and the energy of a room full of kindergartners, to find out that, this is his superpower. This is something I never realized is his comic timing and his ability to play the crowd and do every action for the maximum of laughs. My kids had a superpower when they were growing up. When they were in elementary school, they had the power to find four-leaf clovers anywhere. Like, you think four-leaf clovers are really rare and stuff, but not to my kids. They had this power, and part of it was that they had the faith. They had the faith that wherever they went, they were going to find a four-leaf clover. It was just a matter of where it was. And so for this, they needed to know what a four-leaf clover looks like, and they need the curiosity to be able to look at all the clovers to find them. What was interesting this morning, I had a little extra time, and I thought, I'm talking about how my kids can find four-leaf clovers. Why don't I find four-leaf clovers? And I went, and I was intensely curious, and I found all kinds of things about the clovers in our backyard. I saw two-leaf clovers. I saw 1 million three-leaf clovers. I saw clovers that are very small, clovers that are unfurling, clovers that were like old and beginning to shed their leaves. But after about 15 minutes, I saw no four-leaf clovers. I was like, I can probably tell the story without bringing a four-leaf clover. And Christy said, why don't you check the front lawn? And I was like, it's not like that. But then after breakfast, I'm like, Christy's usually right. And I walked in the front yard, and within a minute, this four-leaf clover showed up. So I'm going to pass this around. I actually was going to tell a story that four-leaf clovers don't look like this. See, usually the reason you can't see four-leaf clovers is that they have, they've got the 3 round leaves, and then the fourth one is usually peeking out behind one of the first 3. But this one just has it's like a cross, 4 leaves. So there are 2 different ways four-leaf clovers can look. And sometimes you see them in a minute, and sometimes you just have a really fun time looking at all the different stages of clovers for 15 minutes. But this is something, if you have the faith that there will be a four-leaf clover, you can manifest this. And it's driven by curiosity. There isn't enough reward in finding a four-leaf clover to motivate us necessarily to do this. Although, I want to tell you, where did the idea come from of four-leaf clovers being magical? The Druids, and by the way, it's a Druid holiday. It's Beltane. This is the holiday to celebrate the spring. So, thank you, Druid Beltane. One of the things you do is pick four-leaf clovers. So one Beltane activity checked off. The Druids would pick four-leaf clovers and give them to people as good luck charms. And I think being open, once you have the good luck charm, then you know that you've been blessed, and you know to look for the good during your day. So I think those good luck charms worked for them. In the Middle Ages, kids would look for four-leaf clovers, and if you found a four-leaf clover, that meant you could see the fairies. And as someone who quite often sees non-physical entities, I can tell you, having a four-leaf clover gives you, it's nice to see, nature spirits This is, we know how we do this. It's sometimes you don't typically see them with your physical eyes. You see them with the eyes of your heart. You see them with your spiritual vision. You can tell what's going on. Although you often see things with your physical eyes that are clues to the existence. The fact that fairies have been here. There are the fairy circles you see with the mushrooms, as well as they leave 4-leaf clovers there for you to pick up. There was a rumor also started in the Middle Ages that Eve took a 4-leaf clover when she left the Garden of Eden as a reminder of what it was like to live in that pure oneness before moving into a world of duality and curiosity. But she had, that was curiosity that led her to eat the apple of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, to find out what duality is about. But she got to bring the 4-leaf clover with her so that she could always remember what oneness was about too. So this is the faith we have to uncover our good, and this is the role curiosity plays in helping us move there. And discovery is the last part of our lesson today. We're open, we are observant, we are curious, and then we discover what is within us, what is there for us to know. Self-discovery allows us to shed limiting beliefs and patterns, creating space for personal growth and transformation. Self-discovery opens doors for us to new possibilities, empowering us to embrace change, take risks, and step into the most authentic version of ourselves. Through so this is our shadow, is that those part of ourselves. Often we talk about inner child work. As kids, people, thoughtless kids or busy adults might have led us to think that, we are less than the magnificent creatures that I'll know us all to be. And there's still part of us that might think that, and we can open and be curious about that part of ourselves and discover it and find what kind of power that will let us grow into. Self-discovery, we can cultivate a deeper connection with ourselves, the universe, and the world around us, fostering compassion and interconnectedness. So, and I actually came up with, I'm going to ask you to do a little Tai Chi, and it's the Tai Chi moves you've been doing. So you can do it sitting if you like, but if you do it standing, you need enough space to rotate your arms. Today, instead of being 5-element Tai Chi, it's going to be observation, curiosity, and discovery Tai Chi. Yes, space. So we're going to do it 3 times, and we start with curiosity. We're curious about ourselves. We're curious about something in the world. We let the curiosity grow and grow and grow until it bursts forth. And then observation, we take that curious energy and we use it to observe our inner self and observe the world, and we bring it through into the ground, and then we pull up our observations and we stretch out our antennae and we look around. And we look around, we look inside us, we look outside us, and we find all the things we're interested in us. What's our shadow? What aspects of us do we want to know more about? What are we curious about? How did we grow to become who we are? And we take it and we process it, and anything we no longer need, we release, and then we embrace the tiger that is our life, fierce and curious. And we return to the mountaintop where we've never left. And then one more time, more curiosity. We let our curiosity grow and grow and grow and grow until it bursts forth. And then observation. We let the observation take the curiosity and channel it into looking around us, looking through us, looking inside us, seeing our very nature, and extending our antennae. We see, what have we manifested? What kind of world have we created? Who have we brought into our world? And we find out more about it, and we think about it, and we invite the repressed parts of ourselves up. and we work with them. We accept them. We love them. We discover them. And in this self-discovery, we let anything we no longer need, we let go, and we embrace the tiger that is our life, fierce and cuddly, and return to the mountaintop where we never left. Last time, curiosity builds and builds and builds and builds until it bursts forth, and then it comes and it rains down upon us as observation. And we bring the observation through our bodies, pull it back up, and then we grow our antennae, our branches, and we look around ourselves, we look around our world, we look around our communities, and we see what is a part of us. How did we end up here? Who are we really? What is our most desirable role? And we take all of this and we decide what fits, what works, what we need, what kind of patterns we like. When anything we no longer need, we release. We embrace the tiger that is our life so far, cuddly and fierce, and we return to the mountaintop where we never left. Thank you. So, and we are open and curious. I think this is our nature. I get to visit, after the service, I'm flying to Hawaii to visit my newest grandchild, who's 6 months old, where the world is just emerging to him. And he is open and curious, and he is discovering his inner landscape. He's just beginning to discover that there's an outer world beyond his inner landscape. And so I'll be ready to be inspired by this. But I think this is the nature of the universe, openness and curiosity. And we can feel this in the universe. We know that this openness and curiosity is, and our explorer nature is a part of our very nature. This is at our core. And knowing that there is one presence and one power in our life and in the universe, God the good, God the open, God the curious, us, the goodness, the openness, and curious. And this is our nature, this is our presence, and we are grateful for this. And we let it go, knowing that we no longer need to hold on to this, because the core of our nature is openness, curiosity, which will lead us to self-discovery. So I think I'm going to have us move to our prayer demonstration cards now. So if we can have some prayer music. On one side, we can write a demonstration, and I know what my demonstration is. A 4-leaf clover. But if you write a demonstration, every time you write this, it makes your future prayers more and more powerful, because it concretizes and it tells you that prayers really work. And plus, it motivates your mind to look for the power of prayer. Prayer works whether or not you believe it. But by motivating your mind to see the power of prayer, you will believe it, and you will find more and more openings for the goodness to come into your life. And you can pray. You move yourself to pray and look for your good, the good of the community, and the good of the world, as we all do. And then for a prayer, you can pray for yourself, you can pray for a loved one, you can pray for the world. Any kind of prayer. The prayers go to our practitioner team, our prayer team, which holds them in highest regards, and they go out to the universe and are powerfully amplified and come back into your life. One of my friends kept a log of every time she prayed for a whole year, every single prayer she made, and what the result was. And she found 100% of the time the prayer was answered, and 100% of the time it was not what she expected. So know that your prayers will be answered, and it will be a surprise. Be curious. song soon.
It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by. It's in every one of us to be kind. Look inside, and as we seek, we'll find. We can all know everything without ever knowing how. It's in every one of us, here and now. It's in every one of us. I just remembered, it's like I've been sleeping for years. I'm not awake as I can be, but my seeing's better. I can see through the tears. I've been realizing that I bought this ticket. I'm watching only half of the show. And there's a scenery and lights with a cast of thousands who all know what I know. And it's good that it's so. It's in every one of us to have fun. Look around, might see zebras on the run. We can all know everything without ever knowing who. It's in every one of us, me and you. It's in every one of us, me and you. I hope dear David Pomeranz will forgive me for what I did to his song there today.
Talking about with what you're singing about.
It's fun
It's
for
all
me
good.
too.
All right. We've done our prayer cards. We're going to do our offering. Our center is supported by God, and we welcome you to be part of how God's support shows up. If you are on Facebook, please visit our website at genesiscsl.org, or you can text your tithe to 206-800-7595. Let's take a moment and we'll craft our financial gift. invite you, if you are called to, just hold your prayer and your offering close to your heart as we say our offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am thankful. Gideon's going to come around to collect this offering, and while we do that, let's sing God is My Source.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need.
I hear you, Cal. So it's with great gratitude that I acknowledge that we have initiated the power of the law of circulation, that as we give, so shall we receive, pressed down, multiplied, and overflowing into our lives, into the very life of Genesis and all beings everywhere, and so it is. Stay for a fellowship afterwards. Right now, let's stand up and sing I Release.